Reporting from El Paso, Texas. I can only show part of. There we go. He covered himself over. We got stranded at 4 a.m.
Do you want to hear the short story? Or you want to hear the spill the tea story?
We got stranded from our wonderful experience of greyhound buses. Yeah, we're just grateful to be alive right now. And grateful for all the lessons and for the time we get to spend with each other.
So how did we end up in this bougie hotel? Is the question.
We are a Brit and a Cuban who sold everything we own to travel, dance and explore full-time around the world. If you are new here, welcome to our channel. We are Emily and Raul.
We started sharing our journey to remind ourselves to keep learning and exploring, to live a life with a deeper purpose, and to always challenge ourselves to create as many life-changing experiences as possible. Thank you for joining us. We hope to inspire you to live a life truly worth living. So I thought it would be fun to get a round-trip greyhound bus from Albuquerque to Tucson and back. The beginning of the story goes like this. We get on the first greyhound bus in Albuquerque, which is a very sketchy area. It just felt that way. Maybe
we
it is
don't
not.
know the area,
Yeah.
so that's why we perceived it as a little sketchy, just because there were unfortunately, a lot of homeless people out on the street with half clothes on, and they just needed help. So yeah,
And-
that's what Raul references.
And a lot of them were drinking. So we get on that bus, and our first stop is in El Paso. So that first bus was terrible.
Before we even enter the bus, the driver tells us nobody's allowed to curse at me because there's no air conditioning, and we're like, well, it's 10 o'clock at night. We have to arrive in Tucson tomorrow because we need a good night's sleep because the following day we're teaching all day long. So we're like, okay, we're just gonna deal with the 5 hours without air conditioning. We didn't think of it as a big deal. So we end up getting on the bus, but the no air wasn't the problem. The seats were gross. The armchairs were gross. It was just a dilapidated old bus.
It smelled.
It smelled like urine.
Terribly.
I don't know how I was able to go into that toilet and actually
I think
pee.
because the window was open and there was
That's
air
actually
flowing
so
from the
true.
outside.
I'm glad that we're talking
I
about
think
this now.
is the only reason why it wasn't bad.
Yep,
Terribly bad to make you vomit and gag the whole way.
it's
But
so true.
so the first leg from Albuquerque to El Paso, no bueno. It was not recommended. So now we get into El Paso and we get our connecting bus. Mind you, this is 3:45 in the morning,
yeah,
something like that. On the
exactly.
second ride, we had no complaints, so it kind of balanced out
The
the.
only complaint that I would have for the second ride, if I can just interrupt you for 1 second, and I'm not going to go off on a tangent too much,
Okay,
but
thanks.
that would be, we got pulled over by
I was just gonna say
the-
that all cars need to go through a border patrol, and if you've done this route, you have to do it.
Yeah, but sometimes they just say hello and let everybody go, and then other times they stop and they want to receive identification for each individual in the vehicle. So
Yeah.
obviously, if it's a bus and there's 20 plus passengers, every single person must show identification.
So we're there for 20 minutes waiting for them to get there. Once they get there, they start asking everybody for identification, just like Emily said.
I was in the middle of sleeping because we were finally on a clean bus that I could actually close my eyes.
Yeah.
My little pillow, I'm there all curled up, all comfy, and then all of a sudden it's like the bright lights, like bright like this white right now, like bright lights come on, and I'm like, okay. They go around and they're asking ID from every single individual. Long story short, the gentleman got asked to be taken off the bus because he didn't have the correct paperwork.
And they needed to verify further.
They
So
needed
now
to verify.
they
We're
put this
sitting
gentleman
there.
on the car, take him away, and then say, all right guys, sorry, but everybody's gonna have to wait. So we're there for another half hour, waiting for this gentleman to come back, if he was gonna come back at all. But he did finally come back. Everything was checked. The guy said, okay, you're good to go, and then we went on our way. Thankfully, we did get to Tucson 30 minutes behind schedule, but we got there in the morning. Great, all fine, no problem. Now, on our way back, this is where the real fun starts.
Well, we had an amazing time in Tucson,
Regardless,
minus the fact that we had to switch hotels.
Okay, let's not skip over that fact, because normally we stay at the Sheraton. But this time around, we're like, all right, let's try something new. Maybe, we'll explore, which was supposedly just as high rated as the Sheraton.
According to Google.
So whatever, we took a risk on it. And we come in, they thankfully checked us in early because we arrived really early. And once we walk into that room, we literally grabbed our stuff and walked out.
There were hairs on the pillow.
Stains on the sheets.
The
Floors were sticky and dirty.
The bedding wasn't even made correctly. There was like a sheet, a comforter, and a sheet, but nothing was tucked in. Raul was like, we don't even do it like this in Cuba.
Like, this is worse than Cuba. And
let's make something clear. We love camping, and we have no problem not being in a bougie place. However, value. When you are paying a certain quality,
certain money for anything, you want the value that you're paying for. Price comparison was literally a $60 difference.
Yeah, it was $30 a night.
Total.
Different, yeah.
$60
and we were there
different.
for 2 nights.
Total of difference.
Which is crazy, because the difference between the two hotels, in our opinion, is a full 360 flip.
Mm-hmm. So we then went back to our safe place and then booked Sheraton room. Right away, straight away, accommodate us, went through, boom, fine, no problem. Go to the Sheraton and stay at the Sheraton. Whatever. So Emily and I are already thinking, like, you know what? We should not return on that bus. So let's look for alternatives. You could probably tell by now this is not gonna end up well.
I mean, we're in El Paso and we told you we took a bus last night, so let's keep telling the story.
So this is when the journey gets real interesting. Flights were skyrocketed because of 4th of July. Thousands of dollars for a flight from Tucson to Albuquerque.
We're like, okay, we can spend $1,000 on getting to an hour and a half flight to Albuquerque, or we can continue our return with our greyhound.
So I tell Emily, you know what? Maybe we'll get a different experience. So let's just go through with our greyhound and return back.
We're like, you know what? Worst case scenario can't be any worse than when we came. And we were wrong.
We get something to eat. We head back to the station. We get to the station 15 minutes before the bus is supposed to show up. Station is jam-packed. 8:15 come around. Bus is supposed to be there. No bus. 8:25 comes around. Bus not there. 8:30 comes around. Bus not there. We're like, all right, what's up? Finally, we hear the gentleman say, oh, the bus is 30 minutes late. We'll be here in the next 10 to 15 minutes.
Because people start questioning what's going on.
Before getting to the bus gets there, blah, blah, blah. We then come to check in, and the lady's like, okay, you're supposed to have 2C and 2D, but we may not have those seats available. So I don't know if you guys are going to be able to sit together, so sit anywhere. And then Emily's like, no, this is not what I pay for. I pay for us to sit together, and if I'm not sitting next to my man, I am not getting on that bus. And I say, wait a minute, I'm not freaking staying here. Just hold up. So I'm like, I'm gonna go in the bus and see if there's 2 seats. She's like, yeah, go ahead. If you see 2 seats, then please take it. So I go in, check. I'm like, Emily, we're good to go. Here's 2 seats. Boom, damn. Okay.
We finally got on the
bus.
Put our bag,
we get on the bus. The bus is nice and clean. The bus is not dilapidated. So we're like, all right, maybe this is a great experience as well as, no problem. Then an hour later, it dawns on us. This bus is gonna get to El Paso
late
at 3:45, and we're supposed to get on this other bus
at 3:30.
At 3:30
or 3:25.
Are they gonna wait? Do they know how? So we
have no way of communicating.
Right. So we are judging and basing it up on our England experience that these buses communicate to each other.
We're assuming, okay, that's being tracked or communicated in their system. We will be okay. Or at least communicate to us in our app through the Greyhound that we're not going to make it, for us to start planning a alternative plan.
Yeah.
When we finally arrive, we go inside the station. We wait like 10 minutes before somebody actually comes out of the office. Even our driver's assistant was running around screaming, being
trying
like,
to find somebody.
Hello. That lady was hilarious.
Yeah.
I love her. She was so cute. Okay, anyway, they finally make an announcement saying, passengers on this bus or this bus, please report to the front desk for assistance. Of course, we're already standing in the line for assistance because we're like, well, yeah, the board says see assistance. Other people's bus was delayed at this point in time. They're all standing there. with tiny children waiting at 4 o'clock in the morning for a bus that was supposed to be there 20 minutes. And they're still waiting. And they waited 30 minutes extra.
Yep.
So their bus is delayed as well. It just seemed like the whole delay and on time thing like didn't really exist. So it was kind of annoying for us and frustrating for us that our bus left us and it was actually on time.
Go figure.
Go figure. Anyway, we speak with the gentleman.
Yeah.
You want to tell the story?
No, it's this gentleman turns around to us and be like, okay, look, this is what we can do for you. We can accommodate you in a hotel for the night, and we can put you on the next route, and I can change your tickets to the next available bus. We asked the gentleman that's there, okay, well, 1, what hotel are you putting us in? And 2, when is our connecting bus to take us to Albuquerque? He says, your connecting bus will be at 3:25 a.m. Mind you, it's 3:53.
So basically,
yeah,
almost 23 hours
and
from
for
that
a second, I'm like, 3:25. You mean like 3:25 the next day? Like July 1st? He's like, yes.
Yeah, we're already in the next day and we're like, we haven't slept. We have no idea what day.
All right, so we're like, that's not happening. We don't want that. Screw that. Is there any other one? No, we only have one route going to Albuquerque from El Paso once a day.
At
Holy
that hour.
crap. And I was like, all right, well, that's not going to work, so we want a refund. And then I told them, well, 2, okay, so accommodate us for the night because it's, it's the responsibility of a company since they messed up. And I told them, what hotel are you putting us in? Are you giving us a voucher and we choose a hotel? Or are you booking a hotel for us? No, we'll book a hotel for you. And what hotel is that? Oh, we're going to put you in the Super 8 motel. I turned around to this gentleman. I'm like, look, I appreciate you being so nice for us and trying to accommodate us, but that is unacceptable.
We're going to decline that. Thank you very much.
We're going to decline your offer. We're going to receive a full refund because I am not staying at a Super 8 motel at 4 in the morning. Thank you very much. There's nothing wrong with those kind of places. I just don't wish to stay in those kind of places. So we declined his offer. We're like, you know what, Em? Our best. She's like, oh, I'm wide awake right now. We need a different solution.
I wanted to go to the airport.
She wanted to go to the airport and she wanted to fly out first immediately. And I'm like, look, the flights are not going to start until 6:40 in the morning. And even if they do, then we're gonna end up paying about $1,000 or so. So I told her
to go out at that hour just because it's business hours.
I told her, look, our best option is let's just find a good hotel so we can stay and have a really nice sleep and recharge. And tomorrow morning we just wake up and we'll figure something out.
You'd never know this boy was born in Cuba, that's for sure.
Yeah, because sometimes it's best to pay the money to have comfort and a peace of mind when you need it. That's how we got here.
And this morning, the first thing we looked at each other when we woke up, as Raul was making me coffee. Thank you, baby, for making me coffee. We said, we can't believe we haven't vlogged any of this journey.
I know.
And I guess we were just too much in the moment, absorbing and learning and receiving.
Experiencing.
We needed to experience.
Oh my God. But it ended up working out well. Well, let me see. It ended up working out thus far.
We haven't arrived at our destination yet, so don't speak
We have
too
not
soon.
finished, but I will say.
We're going to vlog the rest of today and let you know how the rest of the day goes.
We found a solution, just like we said to ourselves early morning today, we said, look, let's get a good night rest and the solution will come about. This morning, I decided to do a little local search on local flights from El Paso or Las Cruces, which is an hour away, to see if there's anything going into Albuquerque today. Thanks to this airline, we found a flight for the both of us for $172.
So it was meant to be.
With check bags and a carry-on.
Yep.
So
we don't have to.
We booked it, we're confirmed, we're checked in. Let's see.
Don't jinx it.
I'm not jinxing anything. I'm just saying, let's see if all goes well and smooth. We'll be in Albuquerque today by 7:50
p.m.
But
it's currently...
What? We gotta get ready now.
It's currently 1 p.m. in the afternoon. The gentleman gave us a late checkout until 2.
So we would let you know the rest of this eventful journey that nothing has gone to plan. With that said,
Let's summarize it.
let's pause. Let me show you the view of this very nice hotel we got here. So thank you, El Paso del Norte, for housing us so late last night. We are very thankful for you to have something available for us. Now our journey begins still. We have to get ready. We have to get ourselves listo and preparados to journey to Albuquerque in our flight that we have ready for us today. So we'll let you know how that goes, and hopefully, just hopefully, it goes to plan. Because if not, then we'll have another adventure to tell. Until then, we'll see you.
The joys of traveling come with highs and lows, but we will take the lows as lessons learned to continue to experience all the highs. Join us in our next video as we finally arrive in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We immerse ourselves in the city, discover an old town, found and visited the largest farmers market in the USA. And to top it off, we dance together on the edge at 10,000 feet.